Hey CJ, thanks for doing this. Um, just after a loss like that, kind of what's the process like on Monday of just trying to regroup and move forward?
After a tough loss like that on the road, I guess you call it a West Coast game. It takes a lot of it. It's tough. You put in all the work emotionally, physically, mentally. You see the work that you do at practice. You see the execution on all three phases. And then when you don't get the results that you want, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna feel that pain. But that's part of this league. That's part of growing. And we have to make sure that we don't let those moments define who we are. The way we work and come to work every day. If we keep doing the right things and execute on game day, our results will start to shine. Our team meeting today I thought was great, mainly because Coach Sala, put up plays that we did in practice that we executed in the game, put up plays that we did in practice which we didn't execute in the game. So a lot of little details, a lot of little things. I'm not talking about the penalties, not talking about the turnovers, but just every person doing their job and bringing what we do at practice to the game. So once we can get that going and start executing on game day, and we start seeing better results.
CJ, I think that everybody seemed to understand that realistically there were going to be some growing pains with a very young team and a young quarterback. How hard is that though on you and on veteran players in general, knowing that you kind of have to wait out until everybody's gets through that growing stage?
There's no test without a testimony. So, everybody's been in the league knows everything's not what you think it's going to be when the season starts. Now, everybody wants to start off fast. Everybody wants to win the first home opener. Everybody wants to win the first game. But that's just not the reality of football. That's not the reality of life. So you can put in how much work that you want. You can do all the right things. But when you're playing a team sport, a team game, it just can't be you. It has to be every single person. And that's what I was talking about in our team meeting. Coach Sala, specify like we all need to do our job. We don't need to do anybody else's job. We don't need to help out the next man when we don't need to. If we all do our job collectively, then we will put ourselves in the right situation as far as coaching goes and play calling and making plays on the field. So I think just saying that we're a young team or having young players, it's kind of just a cop out because at the end of the day, nobody else cares. So we can't use that as an excuse ourselves to downgrade what I feel what we have done since OTAs and training camp. Everything that I spoke about in training camp, I said it because I felt it, I saw it, and I believe it. So we just have to make sure that everybody stays focused. Know that this season is still real early. We got two big games coming up. Well, keep one step at a time. We have a big game coming up this week, and you got to make sure you come back to work ready.
CJ, what led to some of the success Denver had running the ball yesterday against your defense?
They show some new things, so we give them credit with that. Every team is going to come out with a new type of run style. So I think for the most part, especially how many times they ran the ball, we did a pretty decent job. But we have to be able to adjust quickly and adjust on the sideline when we get a new run scheme or when we see something new. So that's part of us being able to see something and just be able to nip it in the bud at that time. So a great defense to be able to get knocked that out once they see it. So they ran the same play a few times and had success on it. So now that's another thing we have to prepare for until we knock it out.
I understand you don't want to use the youth as an excuse. You have young players and nobody cares. I get that part of it, but it's a reality for your team. Do you feel like these guys somewhat just kind of need to relax and play a little bit? Is that some of what's going on? Are they kind of a little bit too tight and that's why it's not coming over from practice into the game?
I'm not sure. Every man has a certain way they play, a certain mindset that they have. So whether it's guys thinking that I have to do so much to help, or whether it's people just trying to be robotic in the system and just do exactly what they're told. The coaches have done a great job to tell us and show us that this is our team. So we have to start putting our swag to it. On defense, we talk about all the time. We go on the field, we got one job, and that's to try to dominate the offense. And no matter what the score is, no matter what the outcome is, when we step on the field, that's our mindset every single time. So I think we have to make sure we just have that collectively throughout all phases, that no matter what the situation is, or be up behind, no matter what the quarter, that we have to have a mindset, to be able to focus, do our job, and do the little things right. Because in this league, the little things get you beat.
CJ, how would you evaluate the run defense over these first 3 games as a whole? And then also, can you talk about the challenge ahead with Derrick Henry coming in next weekend?
I would say for the most part, our run game has been pretty good. The times that we got in trouble when we haven't set a great edge, or when the ball has got on the second level and we miss some tackles. Obviously, you're gonna miss tackles in the game. It'd be great not to miss any. But I think if we do a great job with our edge setting, we can make a lot of plays in the backfield and have a lot of negative run yards. So that being said, we have a great running back and a great offense and offensive line coming in this week. So that's a great challenge for the defense. That's a great challenge for this team to defend the house again, against a conference opponent, and show what we're really about. Because like I said, we put in the work, we sit at practice, we sit on film. So bringing what we do at practice and executing the game.
Just how unique of a back is Henry?
He's very unique because he's bigger than most people on the football field. So he's a smart runner, powerful guy. A lot of respect for him, obviously, former Alabama teammate. But we have to do a great job collectively, of getting him down. Obviously, we all know his stiff arm is coming. So having our guys on the edges, our DBs ready, and if he does break on the sideline and break down the field, having everybody run to the ball and trying to gang tackle. And that's what it's all about on defense. Everybody runs to the ball.
CJ, have you seen Quinnen kind of shake off the rust that he may have had, because he missed a lot of time in the spring and summer? It just looks like each week he's kind of looking more and more like himself. Have you seen that?
Yeah, that just comes from being comfortable. It took him a while because it was a new defense, so being hurt kind of slows you down when you're trying to think about what you have to do every play. But like I said before, our coaches do a great job of putting us in the right situations and looking at the right things. It just frees us to go play football. Once we get the call, every guy knows what they're doing. So now we can just look at the offense formation or look at whatever keys we look at during the week and just anticipate and play fast. And that's what our defense is about.